shall I start?
Hi, Dr.
Lovely,
Susan.
ma'am.
Let me just
Good.
introduce you.
Right.
Opportunity to do that.
Our team member will introduce you, then you can start.
Yeah, thank you. So we will be continuing with in the spirit of inner wisdom and transformation. I'm honored to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Susan Jamieson. Dr. Jamieson is a medical doctor with over 30 years of experience in holistic wisdom. But what truly sets her apart is how she blends the scientific with the spiritual, creating a truly innovative approach to well-being through consciousness and light. She is not only a physician, she is a pioneer in exploring how the energy of light works within the human body, weaving together research from biology, physiology, and even quantum science. Her work invites us to see ourselves as more than physical beings, as radiant systems of light deeply connected to nature, the earth, and the cosmos. Having lived for years in China, Dr. Jamieson brings a unique ability to bridge Eastern and Western healing traditions. She offers a fresh perspective that's both grounded in science and open to the deeper mysteries of life. In addition to her international talks and books, she now offers quantum transformational consultations online and teaches courses that empower others to develop medical intuition and manage anxiety naturally, especially valuable tools in today's world. So, whether you're curious about the science of light, the art of healing, or simply want to expand your view of what is possible for your body and mind, you're in for something truly enlightening. Please join me in welcoming the brilliant and insightful Dr. Susan Jamieson. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Susan.
What a lovely thing to say. I feel fabulous already, and I'm truly grateful to be invited to speak here. I feel so honored. I've really enjoyed a lot of the other ladies and actually learned a lot. So amazing. A summit of international spiritual scientists who are women. It's a fabulous concept. So I'm going to share a little bit about myself just because I think it's relevant, my journey. I didn't know what I was doing when I was in my 20s. I landed in Hong Kong, didn't know one person there, but I was guided by some inner compass just to go. I just was guided. I did have a job working in a tuberculosis sanatorium of all things. But that's all I had. I got a job in a government hospital and I was guided. And then I changed from traditional medicine to complementary medicine. And you're going to see here by my first slide that I'm going to show you. Starting share will stop the other's computer's sound share. What does that mean? Does that mean that I can do it or not? Can I share my screen?
Yes, ma'am, you can do it.
Oh, that's good because I fancy it. Right. Okay. So I just want to show you what I'm talking about here. Because can you see this? You see, I have two logos. I have the traditional caduceus on the left, and I have a triquetra, sign of indivisibility, equality on the right. I have two websites. And I've been so divided because, you know, the sort of traditional medicine is fairly masculine in the West anyway. And alternative medicine is really quite sort of feminine and you're supposed to be unscientific and, you know, very spiritual, but not scientific. And both lots of people seem to deeply dislike each other. And I come in the middle, sort of squeezed in. And this has been tough for me. So right now, actually, after 20 years of having two websites, I'm about to combine them. So that's my journey for now. And I just wanted to share that because I think it is relevant to what we're speaking about today. And now I've lost the Zoom meeting. That's not much good, is it? I'll have to maybe get my glasses on to work out how to do this. It's kind of vanished on me. I think it's up here somewhere. Maybe not, maybe not. Okay, going to stop sharing. That might be a good idea. Back to just me. Right. So I have been divided, as I say. However, now, even though I'm a Western trained medical doctor, I'm a specialist in integrative medicine for many years. Now, I really just do what I like, which is to, right now, I just specialize in well-being through energy, consciousness, and light. So I use the words energy and consciousness to give you the idea that it's not a light bulb, that it is in fact the bigger picture, the light of our bodies, the light of our DNA, our enzyme systems, and light of the planet, and the greater light, which we'll discuss. One thing that strikes me though is with human beings in general, and also women, we haven't really changed our bodies in 40 odd thousand years. We have all the modern advances of technology and science. I doubtful whether it's made anyone much happier, perhaps a bit healthier. However, we really haven't changed our bodies. And I think this is the key because in our bodies lie the secret. You people, you know about meditation, about breath work. Indians invented this. And it's very much anyone can do that who has a human body, right? No special intelligence, no special bits of equipment. So I'd like us to go back to back to basics really, in that we are beings of light. Photons of light shine from our DNA. And these are the attributes we've had for thousands of years that make us what we are. So I'd like to focus on that sort of back to basics message in order to help people. And as a doctor, all I really care about is helping people feel more healthy and happy. And I haven't met one person who doesn't want that. That seems to be what they care about too. So if I can, I'm going to share just a little bit more with you guys. This is one of my patients, a German lady. She just said, I did a little light cleaning exercise. It was with me actually, and I really enjoyed it. It took 5 minutes. Before it, I was nervous, my head was spinning, and now my feet are on the floor with warmth. I don't know, but my head is just not so tense anymore. It is very easy using certain techniques to get improvements in people's well-being. And I think it's really important we focus on this. So in this talk, I'm going to focus on the light in our body, our interactions with light, our biology and light, our light physics, and using this light for our well-being because that's pretty important to all of us, right? That's what we want. So when I talk about our interactions with light, it sounds very fancy, but when you think about it, we wear light. So light is part of this. Well, the color is part of the light spectrum, I should say. The color is part of the light spectrum, and I'd just like to show you this. So this is the light spectrum with the radio waves being, at the top. They're kind of big and fat and slow. And then the little gamma rays, which are sort of narrow and quick at the bottom. But where we live is this visible spectrum. And we have all these words in English to refer to this. Oh, brighten up. Green with jealousy. In the pink. You're in the black mood. We just seem to refer to colors all the time. So we wear color, and I think women especially will resonate with how important color is to them. Maybe you're going to a party and you have a sari or a dress laid out, and it's lovely green color, but suddenly you just feel you want to wear red or yellow just at the last minute. You have to complement your being with the right color. We're so hardwired to color in foods. Our basic nutrition. I mean, we're attracted to those brightly colored red apples or the beautiful greens. We're attracted to the color. However, we now know that it's the color of the fruit and vegetables that contain the nutrients for health. Examples being the lycopene of tomatoes, the red of a tomato skin, this prevents prostate cancer. And if they're shipped before they ripen, in other words, they go red without the sunlight, and they go red in their 2 months of shipping, they don't contain as much of this lycopene prostate cancer fighting enzyme. The anthocyanins in red apples and grapes, helping heart disease. Aubergines and eggplants, these colors are where the nutrition is, not the stuff on the inside so much. So we are what we eat in one level, and we're eating colors all the time. Any indigenous culture will have their traditional dish. I'm just going to pick Mexican for no particular reason, but it has all the colors on that plate, right? It's a colorful plate, it's a rainbow dyed, and that's the most healthy plate. We are hardwired to color. We wear it, we eat it, and we see it. We see it everywhere. So this, let me just get out of this for a second. That's better. Now I'm going to just mention women here just for a second, because as I've said, women tend to be the ones who are the naturopaths, the psychologists, the homeopaths, or the alternative practitioners. And they are often branded as being scientific, more flaky, but usually because people just don't understand what they do, actually, because it's more subtle and sophisticated. However, scientifically, we know we have a biofield around us. Okay, so this I'm going to talk of light right now in electromagnetic terms, basic science, right? Electric, magnetic. And where you get one, you tend to get the other. Although light could be many other things. So this biofield is a measurable thing in science, maybe 6 feet around us, about a meter or something. And it's a very stable structure, a very stable mechanical structure in the shape of what scientists would call a torus, like a donut. But any engineer will tell you that's very stable structure, that donut structure. And some people can see the very subtle shades of color in this biofield that might also be called the aura. But did you know that we've got rods and cones in the retina of our eyes? So this is dark black white, and then color cells, receptors for colors. And almost everyone has three. They've got the red, green, and blue cones. And out of that, they can see a million different shades of color. Okay. 12% of the population, all of them women, this is due to a genetic thing, have 4 receptors in their eyes. So they not only have the red, green, blue, they have an orange, yellow receptor too. And a third of these women, a good 4%, or 5% even, so it's 5%, 4% of women basically can see a million colors. So in other words, they have greater sensitivity to color and light. So this is a biological fact of the last 10 years. Lovely to know we're still making new discoveries. So women are physically, for genetic reasons of the retinal eye receptors, they can see more colors. This is 4%. I'm sure they're all the designers and the artists and the people who can see those biofield colors. Feel them is one thing. I think we can all be taught to feel them, and that's what I do. I teach people this sensitivity. And in medicine, I would call this medical intuition, because I'm feeling facets of the light energy. So I teach courses in medical intuition. Feeling is one thing, but not so many people could see them. So a little plug for women there and their technical abilities. So I hope you guys can all hear me okay. So I'm looking at a lady on her phone. I just hope she's not trying to talk to me. I don't think so. So I'm going to continue with my sharing here. And I'm going to show you something really interesting. Well, it is to me anyway. This is a picture of light going in the human eye. I know if you want to talk to me, maybe you'll interrupt me or something. Um, I painted it myself because I couldn't buy it. It's in my book. And I wanted to remind you on a biological level how much the pituitary and hypothalamus do. So the light goes in our eye. It's not all involved in vision, okay? It's stimulating these important glands. I mean, the pineal, as you know, is supposed to be the seat of the soul. It's very spiritual connotations with the third eye. But the hypothalamus, pituitary, in medicine do everything. I mean, stress to fertility, to thyroid, to blood pressure, to growth. Then we've got oxytocin and bonding. I mean, it just does everything. So it's fascinating to me that the light has pathways going into these essential, absolutely essential um, areas. And I think we're back to me again. I'm hoping so. Um, because the other thing about light going in our eyes is we've discovered it's not just involved in vision, as I've just said, but it's involved in emotional regulation. Like when we look at a work of art, one person is so emotional and they love it, and the other person really doesn't. Well, a lot of the light goes to the emotional centers in the brain, the amygdala, the hippocampus. It goes to all sorts of places to do this. And also, let's look at it technically again because we are women scientists. We're changing and we're adept at changing these light frequencies all the time. Like your Wi-Fi would be changed into music on your computer, right? So you've got electromagnetic energy changing into sound. Right, or we used to say radio waves, or we could say loudspeakers, electricity going into sound waves and loudspeakers. It's just changing. In physics, we can't change energy. So visualize that the electromagnetic light goes into our eye. On the retina, it's changed to chemical energy. And the brain is changed back to electrical. The neurons in the brain, the nerve cells, work in electromagnetic impulses. And so it's changing. We're actually expert transducers of light without even knowing it. I love these words like from, basics physics, because I'm never quite sure what they mean, but I think that means changing one form of energy into the other without even knowing it. We're like fish in water, bathing in the sea, this light field that connects us all in its web of photons, this field that we instinctively know how to use, but we, like fish in water, we don't know how we're doing it. And I'm going to tell you more about this, by the way. I have a practical side because I'm a doctor, so we will talk about that later. But imagine we get sometimes caught in the whirlpools. This gentleman said, I feel so connected and I feel a lot of love energy pouring from each other. This is in one of my light meditations. Now, he is the most conservative doctor I've ever met. My hands feel very warm and comfortable with compassion. This is head of infectious diseases in Hong Kong University, Andrew Wong. I didn't know he could feel all this stuff or he was going to come out with this. But this is how we can connect to each other with the light energy. And I would rather like to talk about how a little bit more about these connections because I do feel they're important. So I'm going to try and show you this slide if I can. This is quite high level stuff, but I think we're up to that because we're women scientists. So if we can, we understand stuff, right? If we can just look at this just for a second. The premise here is that we're inherently tuned to a quantum process of light. This is my worldview. And we interface with these surrounding energies, the field, unconsciously on a daily basis, like fish in water. The biological, neurophysical basis of this is that our bodies are regulated and communicate through a light network on a DNA, a cellular, and an enzyme basis. We know, I mean, to put it in context of the body again, we know that our cells are controlled by gateways of electromagnetic energies to allow things in and out of them. Our enzymes are controlled by signals of light. Albert Szent-Győri was a biochemist who won the Nobel Prize about 200 years ago, and for vitamin C actually. But this was one of his findings, that the enzymes were more sensitive to one color than another color, frequency in the body, by a matter of thousands. So we've got field upon field here of influencing each other. And it's not difficult to imagine. I don't think it's difficult to imagine that. I hope you can see this. Yes, that each of us is like a pebble in a pond, and the pebble and there's interlapping sort of ripples, and interlapping of the water. Ripples are forming, and and the light waves are forming an interference pattern where they overlap. So this is why we feel things, we're sensitive to things. I felt the peace at the top of the mountain. I felt you could cut the energy with a knife at that party. This is our sensitivities, and also how we can connect with each other, and why it's suddenly so calming today when I logged on to your summit, and I had a million things to do, but I heard this music at that point and I thought, oh, this is so relaxing. I'm just chilling, because I immediately connected to this field. This can be practiced, yeah? This can be practiced. So we've done quite a lot of work in talking about our connections to light and how we would connect to it. We wear it, we see it, we eat it, right, in different forms, changing light frequencies from one form to another, the Wi-Fi, the sound. We've kind of connected the dots with well-being a little bit by looking at the light going in our eyes into the pituitary, the hypothalamus, the control glands of the body. Talking about the DNA emitting biophotons. Biophotons is just a name for photons being emitted from a biological organism. Fritz Popp in the 1940s popularized this. And he did wonderful experiments with these biophotons. So there's a lot of things we've talked about here. However, I did want to go further with you guys, because I know that you're quite capable of doing that. And that wasn't what I wanted to show you, actually. Here we are. So we could think of a periodic entrainment of our whole body, our whole bodiedness, light, biomagnetic emissions with the Schumann resonance of the earth. So this would be when we connect to the core light energy of the earth. So what I'm saying here is the magnetic energy rotating molten outer core of the earth creates a huge magnetic energy we call the magnetosphere, which is actually slightly separate from the Schumann resonance, but let's not worry about this too much. It's energy coming from the earth. And look on the right, we've got Mr. Taurus man there with this electromagnetic donut field around his body. Her body, sorry. Her body. And but she has got very square shoulders, so maybe not. Electromagnetic field. Not hard to imagine that these fields can interact. I mean, firstly, as we saw with the water ripples, we can interact with each other, as we already know. We know that. We meet someone, right? We know we can trust that person or not immediately. We just have immediate intuition. We know we can interact with each other. I think we all know the feeling of peace on top of a mountain or in a forest. So what I do is teach people further skills of intuition in this area. However, to be practical, what I would suggest to practice this, I did make a slide for it only today, so hopefully I can find that, but let's just see. Don't quite know actually. I have a lot of slides here, and you might want to just have a brief look at them about the DNA releasing photons of light. We've got entrainment and other physical potential, lots of energy happenings in the body. That's me in my office about 5 years ago. And then we talk, just to remind ourselves what we talked about. We've talked about healing effects of light because, well, Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, he was the one who coined the term 2000 years ago, photobiomodulation. In other words, photons of light modulating, regulating biological organisms. Talked a little bit about this. And then the late Professor Persinger in the Laurentian University of Canada did these amazing, groundbreaking experiments about when we thought about white light. How simple is that? That there was actually a doubling of output from our brain in, and it's going through this very quickly. So make sure you realize that this is real and it's real science. So I promised you some actual exercises. And how do we connect with light? Well, first of all, a very simple person, we connect with colors, preferably in nature. I mean, I don't want you obsessing over colors in food too much, might be eating a bit much, but colors in nature. Nature is live, it's organic. I'm a nature bathing, double qualified forest bathing specialist. Nature is also electromagnetic energy. It has all the colors, focusing on that liveliness, that full spectrum. Then if we look at the prana or chi, we can look at the, I'm not going to tell you what prana is, so I'll focus on chis. I've lived in China for so long. You could think of the little chi and the individual energy that your body has, the energy of every cell, mini chi, or you can think of maxi chi. That is the the energy of cyclones, earthquakes, lightning, the energy of the sun above us. And then the breath would be how we manage to get this into our body because the breath is life itself. So to work with the light, yes, I'm suggesting we use the breath and we can visualize the light going to different organs, perhaps. We can use different colors of light to stimulate different chakras with our intention of our mind. So yes, work with breath but have intention also in this case. We know that what we think of becomes our biology. So we think stressful thoughts about burglars or trauma, and our pulse rate and our blood pressure increase. Our body responds immediately to our thoughts. So yes, think about the colors of the chakra. Think about the color and the light when you're breathing. Where are you putting it? Movement. So I feel personally that meditation, sitting still in a sort of Buddha-like, is traditional male way of achieving enlightenment. I feel that women have more of a sort of handle on the dancing, ecstatic dance, moving the light in your body. So the internal light of your body, moving it by movement of the body, joyous movement of the body, circulating the blood, circulating the chi, moving in keeping with the universe. I have an expression that is a bit obscure in that we dance to keep the world rotating. But I actually believe that. So movement, I mean, not just, okay, yoga, Tai Chi, lovely movement, fabulous, but I'm talking more traditional women's dancing that would be freer. And the meditation itself. And all the places, as you're the experts in that, that meditation can do. So these are the very specific ways, the basic ways that anyone can connect to light inside themselves and light outside. The small chi and the greater chi. So I think that is enough for today, enough facts about light. And it's been an absolutely delight to talk to you. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I hope to be speaking to you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Susan Jamieson, for that beautiful and expansive sharing. It's always inspiring to be reminded about energy and consciousness, which shapes our lives. Thank you for your presence today.
Hi, Susan ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting
It's
our
an honor.
request.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really very wonderful presentation. It's all needed. Thank you so much, ma'am. Especially women. Thank you so much, ma'am.